This is breaking right now. Just moments ago, the Social Security Administration quietly confirmed what they're calling a major payment sweep. And if you receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or survivor benefits, this could directly affect you. This is not a rumour. This is not speculation. And this is not something happening months from now. This is happening right now inside the Social Security system. Some people will open their bank accounts and see no change at all. Others could notice something feels off, and a small but significant group may see adjustments, delays, or questions raised about payments they already depend on. And here's the part that's making people nervous. Social Security has confirmed that not everyone will be notified first. That means changes can happen before a letter arrives, before a notice shows up in your mailbox, before you even realize your account was part of this sweep. If you're thinking, does this mean my benefits are being cut? Stay with me, because before you get too worried, you need to understand what this payment sweep actually is and what it is not. This does not mean Social Security is ending benefits. This does not mean checks are stopping across the board. And this does not mean everyone is in danger, but it does mean the system is being reviewed in a way we haven't seen at this scale in quite some time. And timing matters here. This confirmation comes as Social Security is under intense pressure from budget concerns, from payment accuracy audits, and from growing scrutiny over who is getting what and why. Millions of records, millions of payments, all being rechecked. Now, most people never notice these reviews when they're happening quietly in the background, but this time it's different. This time the sweep is broad, it's fast moving, and it's happening while payments are actively being processed. And that's why this matters to you, because even if you've been receiving benefits for years, even decades, this sweep does not automatically skip you. And here's the question everyone is asking right now. Who exactly is affected, and how much money could be involved? That's where things start to get very interesting. Now, let me explain what Social Security has actually confirmed, why they're doing this now, and what it really means for your payments moving forward. Now, here's what Social Security has actually confirmed, and this is where the story shifts from alarming to eye-opening. When the agency talks about a payment sweep, they are not talking about one single program. They are not talking about one mistake. And they are not talking about 1 month. They are talking about a system-wide review of payments that are already in motion. Social Security officials confirmed that this sweep is part of a broader payment accuracy initiative that has been expanding quietly over the past year, but has now moved into a much more aggressive phase. In plain English, the agency is going back through its own records and asking one critical question. Did this person receive exactly what they were supposed to receive? Not more, not less. Exactly. And that matters because even small discrepancies, sometimes as little as a few dollars, can trigger a review when they appear across millions of accounts. Now, why is this happening right now? According to internal briefings and statements tied to recent audits, Social Security is under direct pressure to clean up payment errors that have been accumulating over time. Some of these errors go back years. Some are tied to outdated income data. Others involve changes in household status that were never fully reflected in the system. And then there's banking information. A surprising number of payment flags are being triggered by mismatches in direct deposit details, routing numbers, account changes, or accounts that haven't been updated in a long time. When the system sees something it doesn't like, it doesn't automatically stop benefits. Instead, it marks the account. And that's where this sweep comes in. Social Security confirmed that they are pulling marked accounts into a large-scale review to verify eligibility, payment accuracy, and compliance with current rules. This includes Social Security retirement benefits. It includes SSDI. It includes SSI. And yes, it includes survivor and dependent benefits as well. One SSA official described it as clearing the fog from the system. But here's the truth most people are missing. This sweep is not just about catching overpayments, it's also about identifying underpayments. That means some people could actually be owed money that was missed, delayed, or miscalculated in the past. And that's why this review is happening while payments are still going out. The agency is trying to correct issues without shutting down the entire system. But doing both at the same time creates risk, because when accounts are flagged, even temporarily, timing can be affected. And that leads to confusion for people who rely on these payments every single month. Now, before you assume this only affects people with complicated situations, listen carefully. Long-time recipients are not automatically exempt. People who have never had a problem before are not automatically exempt. And people who think, I've been fine for years, are not automatically exempt. This sweep is based on data patterns, not personal history. And that's why it's catching so many people off guard. But the biggest question still hasn't been answered. Who is most likely to be affected first? And what could actually change when this sweep hits your account? Now, this is the part where things become very real for a lot of people watching. Because while Social Security says this sweep is about accuracy, the impact depends entirely on who you are, what type of benefits you receive, and how your record looks inside the system. And yes, some groups are being affected more than others. Let's start with who is most likely to feel this first. If you receive SSI, you are near the top of the list. SSI payments are extremely sensitive to income, resources, and household changes. Even small updates, part-time work, help from family, changes in living arrangements can trigger flags during a sweep like this. Next are SSDI recipients, especially those who have had any earnings activity, trial work periods, or recent medical reviews. The system is double-checking that disability status and payment levels still match current eligibility rules. Then there are people who receive more than one benefit. If you get Social Security and Medicare, or Social Security and SSI, or survivor benefits combined with retirement payments, your file is more complex. And complex files are exactly what these sweeps focus on. Survivors and dependents are also being reviewed closely. Age changes, school enrollment status, household composition. Any mismatch between what's on file and what's happening now can raise questions during this review. Now let's talk about what could actually happen to payments. For many people, nothing will change at all. Payments will arrive as usual, amounts will stay the same, no action needed. But for others, one of several things could happen. Some may see a temporary hold while a review finishes. That doesn't mean benefits are gone. It means the system paused long enough to confirm the numbers. Others could see a payment amount adjust, up or down. For example, if the system identifies that someone was underpaid by $80 a month for several months, that money may be corrected going forward or even issued retroactively. On the flip side, if an overpayment is found, Social Security may reduce future payments slightly to recover that amount. And here's the part that frustrates people the most. Notices often arrive after the change happens. So someone might see a lower deposit or a delayed payment and only receive the explanation days or even weeks later. That delay is why so many people are confused right now. Now let me be very clear about something. This does not mean benefits are being taken away permanently. This does not mean everyone is losing money. And this does not mean Social Security is collapsing. Most reviews are resolved without long-term disruption. But there is one detail that even long-time Social Security experts found surprising. The sweep is being done in rolling waves. That means some people are affected now, others later, and some not at all. And because it's data-driven, there is no public list of who is next. Which brings us to the most important part. What should you do right now? And what should you absolutely not do while this sweep is happening. Now, let's talk about what you should do next, and just as importantly, what you should not do. First, do not panic. A payment sweep does not mean your benefits are being cancelled. It does not mean you did something wrong. And it does not mean Social Security is targeting you personally. This process is automated, it's data-driven, and for most people, it passes quietly without any lasting impact. What you should do is pay close attention. Check your payment amount each month. Compare it to what you normally receive. If something looks different, don't ignore it, but don't assume the worst either. If you receive a notice, read it carefully from start to finish. Many people skim the first line, see a scary word like review or adjustment, and stop reading. That's where confusion begins. Social Security notices often explain the issue clearly, but only if you read the full letter. What you should not do is rush to a Social Security office or flood the phone lines unless you are specifically instructed to respond. During large sweeps like this, call centres become overwhelmed, and that can actually slow down legitimate cases. If Social Security needs something from you, they will ask for it directly. Now let's talk about timing, because this is important. These reviews are not being completed overnight. They are happening over weeks, sometimes months, in rolling phases. That means someone you know might be affected now, while you see no change until later, or not at all. And if a correction is needed, it doesn't always happen immediately. Some adjustments take time to process, especially if back payments or recalculations are involved. Here's the reassuring part. The majority of people caught in these sweeps continue receiving benefits without interruption. And in some cases, the outcome is actually positive, with underpayments corrected and money restored that should have been paid earlier. The key is awareness, not fear. Staying informed puts you in control, because when you understand what's happening, sudden changes feel less threatening and more manageable. And that's why I'm covering this now, before rumours spread, before misinformation causes panic, and before people assume the worst. You deserve clear, honest explanations about your money. So if you receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or survivor benefits, make sure you're subscribed here and stay connected. I'll continue breaking down what's happening, what's changing, and what it means for you. Without the hype, without the fear, just the facts explained simply. Stay informed, stay prepared, and remember, you're not alone in this. Information is protection.